I'm sure you have seen this little thing happen in a movie. Karate Kid, right? A little healing touch because there's a pain going on. So massage is essentially a healing art. Most people look at it as just a thing to do on the weekend, feel good, go in, get rubbed down, de-stress, take care of yourself, get some hot rocks put on you, have some coconut water, stuff like that with it, right? Well, so massage is actually much deeper than that. It is actually quite literally a healing art, and it is all about getting your body to heal from past issues, whether they're injuries, physical injuries, or even mental, emotional injuries, because those both come in and cause major, major pain in your body and your system. So I've got my buddy Jeff Kirstein coming on today. We're going to discuss massage, the real deep, intimate side of that, which is when somebody's actually putting their hands on you and they are digging in, they are actually creating some change, hopefully positive change in your body for improvements and to get rid of those issues, those pains and aches that you've had for a long time that you might not even know about, which is, I've got a pain here, but it's because of something that's going on with your foot that you don't know about or you forgot about from years and years and years ago. So come back on, join me. I've got Jeff on here. We're going to talk about that and some other stuff related to massage and the education of massage therapists, how long they go through that, the education process, what they've got to do to actually put their hands on you legally and actually do a good job and help you live a healthier life.
Clint Fuqua is the health engineer, dishing up healthcare reform through personal responsibility in the areas of nutrition, discipline, and fitness. Clint cuts through misunderstood health theory with over 35 years of practical results. Start taking control of your health today with The Health Engineer. Here's your host, Clint Fuqua.
All right, we're back, The Health Engineer Show, right here on OBBM TV. And today, I got my buddy Jeff Kirstein on. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about massage, like the real stuff. The real, like deep, get in, dig, find the issues massage that most people don't like doing because they're like touchy stuff. We're going to talk about that, all the different modalities that are out there. But let's start off with, we've known each other for coming up on 11 years now. Yeah, so.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we've worked around each other in different arenas.
Yeah.
So different gyms, different chiropractic places, because you're with Dr. Duchesne right now, doing some stuff with him. Eventually you'll be doing some stuff with me and Dr. Dewey Lee, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
By the time you are watching this, that may be happening over at Olympic Fit, my new place. So let's start off with, I want everybody to get some background on you, right? Because, for massage, it's the whole, well, did they go to, is there like school for that? Is there, do you just like one day wake up and you're like rubbing people and that's what you do? Because usually people are not too educated about massage and what goes into it, and especially the process of education around that, because you can mess somebody up badly if you're not doing things properly with that, because you're doing body work. It's kind of like doing body work in a car. If you're hitting the car too hard, too fast in a certain spot, well,
I don't hit people.
Yeah, he doesn't hit people, by the way. If you're rubbing the car too the wrong spot, you can get more damage to it. So after it goes into a car wreck, and people go into car wrecks, well, they've got the same kind of deal, right? They've got damage, they've got body damage going on that needs to be taken care of, right? So let's talk a little bit about your background. Like how long have you been doing massage?
I was licensed in 2010. Went to Parker College of Chiropractic School of Massage Therapy. I graduated with honors from their program. But that was not the start of me actually working on people. I've been actually doing some type of body work since 1980 when I was in high school. And after getting a football injury, found out that I was actually pretty good at working on people with a sports trainer and a chiropractor that were part of that school's program. And so
sounds like somebody else I know.
Yeah. And so anyway, so I did this work for a number of years for people, just trying to help them out. And in 2009, a good friend of mine from our church, he fell down his steps and he showed up at church the next day with a high hip, a limp, and a walker. And he was a mess and he looked terrible. And so I asked him what happened and kind of joked with him a little bit about it and said, hey man, why don't you let me go over to your house? Let's spend about an hour, hour and a half. Let's see what we can do. Try and help you out. Went over there, spent about an hour and a half with him. Worked on his neck, his upper back, his lower back, his glutes, QLs, a lot of different things. Get done an hour and a half later, the guy doesn't have a limp anymore. And he can't believe it. And the main reason that he couldn't believe it was that he's actually a fairly well-recognized acupuncturist from China. And in fact, he's practicing in Hong Kong currently. And he sticks his finger in my face and he says, you and I need to open a clinic when I get back from China. And I said, that's great, but I've got one problem. I have no medical background. How can I help people with no medical? He said, that's a good question. He came back from, that was in February of 09. In November, he came back and he said, we need to get you into massage therapy school because then you can start working on people right away. And then we'll figure out next steps next. That was in 2009. The top rated massage therapy school in the state of Texas at that time was Parker.
Yep.
Went there, completed their program. And then for some reason, God allowed doors to open up for me to actually open up my own clinic at the end of 2010. And so I've been working on people in my own place since 2010.
And that's when we got introduced.
That's when we met.
Doing some business networking. So business networking works out really well at times. You might have somebody that you work with for 10 years or more and enjoy some bison burgers.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Dude. Oh, dude.
Ye Old Butcher Shop. This place is awesome.
That's a great place up in Plano.
And so, but yeah, I want everybody to get some background on you and on that. And so Parker Chiropractic here in Dallas is, I mean, they're like world renowned for specifically the chiropractic and what they do there, but also the massage, because there's other massage schools here in Dallas, but yeah, it's
Massage therapy, the state requirements differ by state, but the state of Texas has a 500-hour requirement for study time and for practical working on people. Parker has a 600-hour requirement for their program. I went a little over that, but the issue is they have a longer program, which means that you get exposed to more things. So I was exposed to shiatsu, reflexology, myofascial work, that many other massage places don't delve into. So because of that, I've obviously expanded my own training in those areas and do a lot of different myofascial and other techniques to try to help people out.
Which he's done on me before.
Yeah.
Word of warning, you know, if you're gonna have somebody do some myofascial work on you, learn how to breathe, and hopefully you get somebody that's not overly maniacal and has some gentle hands, because this stuff hurts. But and we'll talk about why, like, and come back for segment 2, we're gonna talk about the why we do these things. But so back to the background, and so like the spans of what you go through. Whenever you're going through school, so like that 500 hours is you're in there, you're getting your hands on and doing multiple different techniques on,
you get exposed,
on a myriad of people.
Yeah. And so the point is to try and learn. A lot of people don't get this about their education, but it's to try and actually learn what it is you want to practice. So I had people with shoulder issues because I really wanted to know about the shoulder. I had people with knee issues because I really wanted to learn more about the knee. I've learned over time some really good things about pain and such. But with the schooling, I tried to focus on the things that I could actually carry out of there that would have a value in the long run, that were over and above the 600 hours, because it wasn't just about getting a degree. It was actually about getting education that would be valuable in the real world, that people would say, I want to go see Jeff to get this fixed.
Yep. Yeah, and I know some of that comes from your background of like fixing people and wondering, how did I know how to do that? Because some of this is an intuition thing, right? I mean, some people are born with like a healing touch, and some people, they can go through the hours and hours and still just not have that thing, right? Because there is kind of a gift part of that. There's
a lot of things that people identify as their problem, but it usually is a symptom, because the problem is somewhere else or something else. So as an example, I can have people that get a headache in their eye, right here in the top of their eye. They say, oh, this is the problem. And many times I can trace it back to a spot in their Achilles or on the back of their knee, and they can push the spot on their Achilles or the back of their knee, and suddenly the headache goes away. Mm-hmm. And they go, how come my foot...
Well, it's because your toe bone is connected to your head bone.
With right my now. Eye headache. And it's like, well, because there are connections, and I use Anatomy Train's myofascial work, which talks about those connections, because it really is about creating change for people. It really is about allowing people to experience something, especially when they don't expect that things can be changed. Oh, I'm always going to hurt. Oh, I'm always going to have a limp. Oh, I'm never going to be able to not think about my pain. Yeah. And when you can provide that change, whether it be through releasing a muscle, whether it be through helping reactivate a nerve because of damage from an accident or an injury, when it's helping create movement where there isn't any, that can change people's lives. Yeah,
and we're going to talk about changing those lives and like digging deep to find those issues right after this message from our from our sponsors. Come right back. We're going to start digging in deep on the main issues of why massage is really helpful in health.
We are being censored. America's news outlets no longer provide the truth. 90% of news outlets in the United States are controlled by 6 corporations. They're not out to tell you the truth of what's happening. They're out to tell you the picture of the world that they represent. The mission of the Epoch Times is to chase the truth, to ground all statements in facts, and prevent people from being misled. The Epoch Times is independent. We're not controlled by any special interests, and we never will be. The Epoch Times is a non-partisan media. That means we don't stand for any political party. This is a battle between truth and deceit, a battle between forces that would ensnare this country in ignorance, and between a media that wants to present you with the truth. Subscribe today and join the Americans who are seeking truth and tradition. We'd love to have you on board.
Business runs on technology, and human beings are creatures of habit. Unfortunately, not all our habits are good. Technology, when it works, is supposed to make our lives easier, creating routines that allow us to protect customer data, track our progress, forecast the future, communicate better, and move much faster. So, you need technology solutions that work when you're not working, or simply not paying attention. Smart technology solutions, making the complicated uncomplicated.
All right, we're back, Health Engineers Show, and we're going to dig in deep, or actually he's going to dig in deep, quite literally, figuratively, not on me. It's not that kind of show, people, not right now. So he didn't bring his table, all right? There'll be no chair massage going on right now. So let's start digging in on, so most people, whenever they go get a massage, they're thinking, okay, I'm going to walk in here, I'm just going to get a little rubbed down. And for some people, that's what's needed. They just need some stress reduction, sure, right? And we'll talk about some of those modalities, but I wanted to, quote unquote, dig into what you do specifically, because you are, like, you have a very specific skill set, right? for digging in, finding the issues. And most people out there, I mean, if you're sitting there, I'm sure you've got some sort of pain that you're dealing with. Everybody does, right? Neck, back, something like that. Especially if you've been sitting around for a long time. Everybody's sitting around doing nothing for a year, kind of, and so that brought about a whole lot of brand new pain issues from one, not doing anything, being in odd positions, Netflixing and chilling way too long at night, all that stuff. And now we're going from that sitting position now, sitting back in a desk again. And so we're going to start having all the back, neck, arm issues from being back in the workspace, in the desk, and driving, and everything else. So, and of course sports, because sports is back now, and people are going to be out more active, which is good. Get out, get more active. But with that, I'm sure you're probably seeing more people with different pain issues that they're dealing with. Some of them are going to be from a stress perspective, because you hold on to stress and that'll cause pains. So let's dig in a little bit into what you do specifically in your practice, and how you help people with their pain issues, because they're all a little different.
So a lot of people that come to me, I get many doctors' referrals, or I have people that call me off of my Google page because they're trying to figure out why something hurts, make it stop hurting, or to help them be able to move in a way that takes away or gets rid of their pain many times. Sometimes that can be accident, sometimes that can be injury, sometimes that can be their lifestyle, like people sitting in a C, pounding on the little computer, and they wonder, why does my neck hurt? Well, if you sit like a C, there's kind of an obvious answer to that. Your neck isn't designed to go out like this. Your shoulders shouldn't be rolled forward like that. You shouldn't be curling up all the time. It's okay every once in a while, or to lay on the ground or on your bed and curl up like that. But if that's how you're sitting all the time, you're creating all these undue stresses on your body that just hurt. So, but you've asked about people coming in to see me, what it is that I'm doing. So a lot of times what I'm working on is dealing with fascial connections within the body that are creating a limitation or helping instigate a pain which people are trying to get rid of. That's mostly what I see. I also see people that are dealing with some sort of injury, old or new, that the pain never went away, and they're actually trying to make the pain go away because they're tired of the drugs, they're tired of the brain fog, they're tired of the fact that I'm treating my symptom with medicine and it's not making my problem go away. And I want to treat my problem. And so a lot of times what I try to do with my clients is to say, let's figure out what's really going on. Like, for instance, the headache in the eye that's on the heel. And they go, my gosh, I didn't know that my heel would be a part of that. And when you start to take a look at the different issues that can go on in the body, that's when people actually get a real change. And that's my goal. I want to help provide change for people. I want to be on their team and help them see results that they're hoping to find.
Yeah, we were talking about athletes earlier, and, because they've got so many injuries. If you people knew how many injuries the athletes that you watch have, one while they're playing and then after they get done. And we're going to be dealing with some of that over at my place with current athletes dealing with pain issues as they get ready for a competition, and then a lot of the ex-athletes and doing some repair and recovery work on them. But a lot of this goes back to there's some subconscious issues there, right? So digging in, so we talked about digging into like the psoas and things like that, which are really deep, and it's the whole, if you're going to improve yourself, you're going to change things in your life and do things better, you got to dig in really deep, and that goes to the heart of what you do, which is you're digging in deep into places that most massage therapists are not going to be comfortable going to. And it also goes back to like your medical licensing and stuff like that, which is
Right.
you're much more qualified to do those things and dig in deeper for much better improvement, not just the light touchy thing.
The issue is about addressing problems.
Yeah.
The issue is about dealing with what are issues, not just saying, oh, my shoulder hurts, okay, we're just gonna rub on your shoulder and say, there, does your shoulder feel better? Because it's probably not their shoulder. I mean, it could be,
Yeah.
but it's probably not. Most of the time, many times at least, with my clients, they'll say, oh, it hurts here, it hurts there, it hurts whatever. I say, okay, great, that gives me my symptoms list, and now I can start checking things that are connected to that area. So one of my early clients, he came to me because he was on hydrocodone. His doctor had written him a huge prescription because of knee pain. And his knees had hurt for years. He moved, and his new doctor said, you're a drug addict, and there's nothing wrong with your knee, no more script, and you need to figure out your problem. But so he comes to me, and I'm friends with his dad. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And the guy's coming down off of these drugs, and he's in terrible pain still. And so I said, all right, so I checked out his knee, did the side to side, did the drawer test to make sure that his knee was actually stable. His knee was stable. I said, well, the docs are right, there's nothing wrong with your knee. So then we went to this muscle called sartorius, which attaches here on the inside of your knee, and it goes up into your hip. It's called the Weaver's muscle. And we hit the other end of that, and this guy almost levitates off the table. And I said, okay, hang on just a few seconds. We got the muscle to release. I said, all right, pick up your leg, bend your knee. And he's like, wow. His first comment was, well, that's interesting. I said, well, what do you mean by interesting? And he's like, it's weird to bend my knee and it doesn't hurt. And I said, the issue is that you have been treating the symptom of your knee, pretending that was the problem. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was really in your hip. When you fix the problem, all the symptoms go away.
I've got some runners that we've been doing that with.
Yeah.
Because they've got all kinds of hip issues they had no idea they had.
Yeah.
Hip issues, lower back issues, stuff like that because of the pounding and everything else.
Dude.
It's like, this is you while you run. Here's what goes on. Here's what happens to your hips. And
Exactly.
these things are getting beat up and you're feeling it down here because this is the end point.
Exactly. So there are lots of issues that that can come out in pain. Sometimes there's other health or other psychological issues that can be attached with it as well. And they talk about muscle memory. And sometimes people who have been hurt or have been abused, that can lead to an emotional release.
Yep.
When you release an area in their back, their neck, their whatever in their body. But it can actually help provide a healing that they never expected. I've had people come up and like crying and give me a hug because they can't believe that all that pain I've been carrying for all these years is let go.
Yep. And for all the people out there that want to let go of that pain, how do they get a hold of you? Because we're running short on time.
My business is called Sports Therapy Pros. You can find me at sportstherapypros.com. You can find me on Google in my sports therapy business, or you can contact me on my cell at 214-724-5767, and I'd be happy to help.
And very soon you'll get to find him with me in my place. So stay right here. Watch all of our advertisers and sponsors right quick. Come back. We're going to do a little bonus round. We're going to get some inside details on how this guy works.
My American dream is to help you stay healthy and energized so you can live your American dream.
Our American dream is equipping future generations of American dreamers.
My American dream is to protect my community so they can live their American dream.
My American dream is to bring you some spice and flavor to your life.
Our American dream is ensuring what's most valuable to you.
Our American dream is creating opportunities for healthcare providers so they can have their American dreams.
My American dream is serving our business community and advocating for all of your American dreams.
Business runs on technology, and human beings are creatures of habit. Unfortunately, not all our habits are good. Technology, when it works, is supposed to make our lives easier, creating routines that allow us to protect customer data, track our progress, forecast the future, communicate better, and move much faster. So, you need technology solutions that work when you're not working, or simply not paying attention. Smart technology solutions, making the complicated uncomplicated.
All right, we're back, and it's time for the bonus round. So this is just a little insight, a little background on you, right? So, because we've known each other for quite some time now, and so you've had a really interesting life, right? You've been all over the place. You've been in ministry. You've been in martial arts.
Yeah.
You've been to Japan.
Yeah. 6.5 years.
Yeah. So let's start off with some of that, because I mean, some of that goes into the root of like your methodology and how you think and stuff like that. Because everybody's a little bit different. You're kind of Yoda-esque in how you work.
Okay.
So people need to know how this Yoda thinks, right?
Okay. So what can I tell you about my background?
Tell me about Japan, because not too many people have been there before.
Okay.
Right? And the Olympics are in Japan this year.
Yes, they are.
Maybe some insights.
We actually were thinking about trying to go, but they have made it very restrictive to go in.
Yes, they have.
Okay. We were Christian missionaries for 6.5 years total in northern Japan. We worked in a city called Yamagata, which is up in the northern part of the main island, and served as church staff and ran some private English schools for them. I taught at the local university as well, was an English teacher there, and we were involved in the ministry, helping these churches reach out to the community, reach out to young adults, reach out to kids, reach out to the professionals, doctors. In fact, one of my favorite classes, I had this ladies class, 7 or 8 ladies that were all the top English teachers in Yamagata for the schools that had the Japanese students that had no concept of English. And they came to my class for a special class with them to have me teach them English things that they've never heard of before. So one of the things that I did with them one day was I brought in ice cream and root beer and was going to make root beer floats. And so I was really surprised that I found root beer. And I make this root beer float. What I didn't realize was that root beer tastes like a medicine that people gargle there normally when they're sick. So I threw in the ice cream and the root beer, and everybody's like,
and they get a medicine
why
float.
Are you screwing up the root beer? What is wrong with you? You don't put medicine on ice cream. And it's like, okay, I didn't know. What do I know? I'm just a foreigner. So
sorry, this is what we do in America.
Yeah, exactly. This is popular in America. I wanted you to experience it. No thanks. We don't want to experience that. Let's move on to the next thing. So anyway, but we had the largest private English school. Our church did in Yamagata from '93 to '96, and we did some amazing stuff there. And then we were back from '03 to '06, and I was ordained as a pastor at that time, and we served with Yamagata Christian Fellowship there and Zao Baptist Church prior to that. So that's a little bit about our background. So one of the things that I truly miss, though, about Japan, we had this shiatsu guy. Now, shiatsu is a form of massage where usually you have lines going down the body, and you just hit these spots one at a time. And I love when that guy would come over, and you'd lay down on the floor, and he'd push, and everything felt so good.
So you got work. You got some laying on of hands.
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of work done on me, and I loved it. Anyway, so yes, I've experienced it from a few different ways and missed that part of Japan. But I do have that technique. That's one of the techniques that I can perform, and I'm pretty good at it.
If somebody wants you to do shiatsu, how do they get a hold of you? One more time.
Again, sportstherapypros.com or my cell phone, 214-724-5767.
All right. Thanks for coming on. And for everybody out there, Clint Fuqua, the health engineer, right here on OBBM TV. Come back, check out the rest of the shows, and all the rest of the shows on our network. You're going to love what we're doing for you.
The Health Engineer is produced by Offbeat Business Media for the OBBM network and made possible through the generous support of sponsors and viewers like you. For program information, call 214-714-0495. The Health Engineer, Offbeat Business Media LLC, OBBM, network trademarks, and all portions of this broadcast are produced for the exclusive use of the OBBM network and affiliates, and may not be reproduced without written permission by Offbeat Business Media LLC. All inquiries are directed to call 214-714-0495.